Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ashley and I'm a part-time reseller on Poshmark in Canada. In today's video, I'm going to talk about some of the features that Poshmark has recently added to the app and give them a toot or boot. I'm going to talk about whether I use these features, if I find them useful, and at the end of the video, I'm going to talk about some features that I wish that Poshmark would add and things that I think would make my life better as a reseller. If you're new around here, I would love for you to subscribe to this channel, especially if you enjoy reseller content, thrift hauls, Poshmark tips and tricks. And if you're a new subscriber, please say hello because I love to talk to people in this community. And if you want to follow my daily adventures over on Instagram or see what I've got in my Poshmark closet, you can find me at AshleyDTL. So let's talk about these features. A number of the features that I am going to cover today have been released in the last couple of months, in the fall, winter 2020, and many of them were shared at Poshfest back in September, October, end of September, first day of October. My gosh, feels like a long time ago, but it wasn't. The first feature I'm going to talk about is Posh Stories. And not gonna lie, I feel like every social media platform has been adding some version of stories. Like LinkedIn added a stories feature. Why would I? Anyway. LinkedIn. So I'm not surprised that Poshmark added a stories feature, especially because Poshmark is a social platform. Yes, it's used for selling and reselling and it is a marketplace, but that social feature is a huge element of Poshmark and what differentiates it in the market. Whether you love it or hate it, that's up to you. So on someone's profile, their little profile picture, if you see a circle around it, you can go check out their story and you now have the ability to tag brands or tag listings. You can tag purchases that you've made and tag them in your stories. I've definitely used Posh Stories a little bit. I generally tend to add a Posh story when I add new listings to my closet. But here's the thing, unlike other social media platforms, I have no clue if anyone is watching it, if anyone's seeing it. I can see if someone like reposts it, but I have no concept of what it's doing for me in my closet. Is it bringing people there? Is it bringing people to the item? Is it increasing my sales? I have no clue. Do you use Posh Stories? Let me know. I can also say that I never go look at other people's Posh Stories, or it's very rare that I do. You kind of have to scroll down in the app to find them and then go look at them, but like, I don't know. So Posh Stories overall is a little bit of a boot from me, and not like a boot like Americans think we say about in Canada. I'm gonna keep using it from time to time, but I wish I had a better understanding of my return on that investment, and it's definitely not something I'm gonna prioritize in my life. The second thing I wanna talk about is the ability to search and filter your sold items. This is kind of fun. This was something that was shared at Poshfest. It's basically when you go into your sold items, you're gonna see like a little triangle up in the top right-hand corner, and that gives you the ability to filter. And there's also a search bar at the top, so you can search your sold items. The search feature, I feel like is less useful, but I don't know, maybe there's a use case I'm not really thinking about. But the filtering one, I really appreciate because you can filter by the status of your sold items. So that's really great if you're not sure if an item has been accepted yet, if it is showing up as shipped, if you've dropped off at the post office and you're not totally sure and it's still showing like pending. But I find that filter to be helpful, especially because once in a while you'll send out a package and a lot of time will go by, especially lately. There's been a ton of shipping delays and you're not totally sure if the buyer has received it and accepted it. So I find that feature to be helpful in specific scenarios. The search, I'm not really using. I guess if I was looking for a specific item in my closet, like if I wanted to copy a listing or kind of look back to see a sold item, but I would probably go look at that like in my own spreadsheet. So this one will get a toot from me. And a thumbs up on the ability to search and filter. I'm probably not using it like to the fullest of its potential, but it is definitely a helpful tool in my life. Are you using it? Let me know. Did you know it was there? Now you do. It's there. The third one is they added new photo filters and the ability to edit your photos within the Poshmark app. So I remember when I first joined Poshmark, the filters were not good. Like they weren't cute, they weren't helpful, they weren't gonna make your items look nicer. Sorry Poshmark, but it's true. I've heard from US sellers that before these filters, there was other filters and those filters were even worse, and maybe there was no filters before that. These ones are definitely better. I'm not using them though. I think it's a helpful feature to have in the app, but I don't trust the filters enough to use them. And if I'm editing photos, I tend to use an external app. I use the app called A Color Story. I can link it down below. And I find that to be the app that I like the most, especially because I can batch edit and I sort of have some like presets that I use over on A Color Story if I wanted to adjust my photos. Usually I just lighten the background up a little bit and like get rid of some shadows. So I can see the photo editing tools being useful, but I would have to invest some time into actually playing around with them and seeing how they work. And I have a system that works, so I'm not gonna do that. Even with that said, I'm gonna give new photo editing tools a thumbs up and a toot, because I think it is useful, especially for someone who's newer on Poshmark, or maybe, you know, is just like investing a little bit of time in just like selling 1 to 2 items. It's great to have it all right in the app, and it is great that they have built out more filters, they've built out the editing suite, and it gives you more flexibility in the ways that you can edit your photo. Last but not least, here's what inspired me to make this video, because I went into the app one day and I saw a new feature and I was so excited for this one. So this one, you're gonna get a preemptive toot on this because I was just so jazzed. So if you go into your sales, there's now a little button in the top left-hand corner called Actions. And when you click on Actions, you have the ability to download shipping labels. So you could download a bunch in one go. Love it. And also you can mark a whole bunch of items as sold in bulk. It is amazing. You click on that little button and then it allows you to like select the items that you want to mark as shipped, and you're good to go. I think I might have just said sold instead of shipped, but you get the picture. You go into Actions and you mark sold items as shipped. It gives you the ability to choose the ones, and you don't have to go into each item, click the 3 little steps, and then click yay, I shipped it for each item. Oh my gosh, this is a game changer, saving so much time, especially when you have multiple items that sell at one time. It is great, highly recommend, love it. If you didn't know it was there, it is. And if you're not seeing any of these features, I would make sure that your app is up to date, because that's going to be key in making sure that you have all the features available to you. I haven't checked to see if all of these are available on desktop. I should have done that. Something that I also noticed was that there was a banner in the app recently saying that there were fewer markets, which I think is a good move, because it was getting to a point where like every day there was like, you get a market and you get a market. I never shop the markets. I don't know about you, but I never really check. I just search for an item. And I think that's how a lot of people use Poshmark, but maybe I'm wrong. Anyway, they simplified the markets. It's a little bonus. They've also been doing some work behind the scenes around sizing. So I've noticed that the way that sizes show up in the app are changing a little bit. So I'm waiting for all of those changes to be rolled out, and that'll be really interesting. Also, new categories are showing up, so that's positive. They also mentioned closet metrics, and I would love to see more information and more analytics related to my closet. That's actually a great segue. Let's talk about my wish list. Here are the things that I wish Poshmark would come out with. Poshmark, if you're listening, here we go. So one of the things that they've talked about, and they talked about at Poshfest last year, they also talked about it at Poshfest this year, is cross-border shipping. And I can only imagine what a huge undertaking that is, but I would love to see cross-border shipping, especially as a Canadian. It would just open up so much potential when it comes to US buyers. As a Canadian, there are ways to set up a US Poshmark closet, and if you search on Google, if you search on YouTube, there are videos about how to set up a US Poshmark closet. I'll actually link one down below. Danica from Thrifty Stew recently did one because she recently set up a US Poshmark closet. There's some extra steps involved and there is a little bit more of a process, but it is possible. Little iffy on whether it fits into the terms and conditions or not. You need to decide what's best for you. For me, I've decided not to go down that route. I investigated it briefly and then I was like, I think that feels like a bit too much work for me. So I'm gonna stick to Canada for now. So I would love to see cross-border shipping launch. I think it'll be fantastic. Really excited for that and really hoping that that comes sooner rather than later. The second thing I would love to see is, you know, what they alluded to when it comes to closet metrics. I would love to see more analytics. Like, how do people find me? How do people find my items? Like, how many people are viewing my items? Like, I realize that Poshmark is a marketplace that is social and it wasn't designed for resellers, but I would just love to see more data and more information because that would just be so helpful. And speaking of more data, I would love to see more information on search. Like, what are people searching for? How did they search to find my item? Like, there are some good practices when it comes to SEO and including descriptive words in your title, including descriptive words in your listing, making sure that you're including keywords, all of that stuff. If your items are getting lots of attention and you're getting likes and you're getting items selling, like, you're doing good work when it comes to creating SEO rich listings, but it's hard to understand how that translates to sales when you don't see anything on the back end. So that's something I would love to see. What features would you love to see on Poshmark? Like, let me know in the comments down below. What would make your life better when it comes to Poshmark and make your job as a reseller easier? Thank you so much for watching this video. I know it was a short one, but I just wanted to talk about some of these new features and get this out here. If you enjoyed it, please give it a like. And if you're not already subscribed, now is an awesome time to do so. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye, friends.